Okay, so this is going to be a video of how I made this wimpy Musicmaster 1970/71 bass amp into a very nice usable guitar amp. If that sounds interesting, don't touch that dial. So here's this 1970/71 Musicmaster amp I just got. Yeah, I'm going to try and clean that paint off there. I've replaced these parts, a 20 and a 20 at 300. I replaced with 22s at 500. This little 2 at 25 I replaced with a 2 at 63. This 10 at 25 I replaced right there with I believe a 10 at 160 or something like that. I forget. The 25 at 25 I replaced with a 25 at 50, and this 20 at 300 I replaced with a 16 at 475. So I tried to make it a little better than the original wiring. I got it grounded to the chassis there. Oh, and this is Mr. Torres did the original wiring here in April of 1970 or 71. You can't really see, it's a blur. Didn't touch any of the other wiring because it's all wired nice. Everything is dead original. So I'm going to go on to cleaning up the cabinet. I did test all the voltages so far, and they seem to be perfectly in order. And I forgot to mention, I did replace this 1K resistor there. The other one was fried, probably from these. These guys are pretty out of spec. All right. So here's the hum in this Musicmaster bass amp, and when I turn it down, it goes away, or it gets real quiet. I turn it up, so the treble, or the tone and the volume are affecting it. New caps. It goes right to the plate of those two power tubes. Here's what I've done so far to eliminate the hum and make this amp a little more musical. I redid the preamp section to match this. Upgraded, this was a 2 microfarad. I went up to a 20 at 50. This was a 10. This one was a 10. I went up to a 20. I upgraded this one, changed the diodes, added a shielded cable from the volume control. I upgraded the power supply caps, and next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put in a switch somewhere. I didn't like the switch, the on-off switch. I think was adding some noise, and I'm going to put a 6-volt light bulb in there instead of this funky thing. It seemed to be adding some noise also. All right, onward. Okay, folks, here's what I've done. I did a bad thing, George. I drilled a hole right there, put a pilot light in there, a 6-volt pilot light, and an on-off switch where the pilot light used to be. And I'm rewiring this. Oh, I did another bad thing, George. No fuse came on this, even though it was UL approved. So I thought it was ironic to drill a hole right where the UL approved was and put a fuse, of all things. A fuse. But this was forged in a volcano. Torres wired it. Look, it even says so. Well, I'm L.A. Jones, and I approve of this. Much better. I'm going to plug it in, measure some voltages. Okay, here's an overview of what I did. Replaced all the filter caps. Replaced all the electrolytics all the way across. Upgraded that 0.01 to a 0.02. Completely redid the volume and tone. Shielded cable. Got rid of that high voltage pilot light, put the switch there, got rid of that noisy AC switch here, robbed that out of a Zenith stereo and put a 6-volt light in there with some heater wire, going over to the heater wires here, drilled through the UL approved label and put an actual fuse in here, which came from the factory without one. And now it's got no tubes in it. I'm going to plug it in to my current limiter and make sure that I don't have any shorts. I'm going to check my works. Here's my current limiter. Plug it in. Wow, look at that. The pilot light goes on. No glow. Good. I'm going to put some tubes in and listen to it. I'm going to do a demo of this modified Musicmaster amp, and I'm going to use this 335 landfill rescue to do the demo with. It's got a Vox Celestion speaker in there. Handles 50 watts, I believe. Should be fine for this purpose. Amp on 6, tone on 7. Okay, here it is wide open.